Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Accusations of secret meetings.
As a city representative, don't you think it's important to have all of your business out in the open?
I have no comment tonight. Thank you.
Why wouldn't you want to comment about this, though?
And now a restraining order against the city of Mount Clemens.
After another secret recording is leaked, Warren Mayor Jim Fouts calls out whoever is behind it. This latest tape has an angry tirade on it about Fouts' former chief of staff who passed away this year.
We took that tape for forensic voice analysis. Mara McDonald now live in Warren. And Mara, the experts say the testing shows it's almost certainly Mayor Fouts on that recording.
Devin, that expert, pinned that number of certainty at 99.3% that this is Mayor Fouts. We reached out to the mayor yesterday for an interview to talk about this. He declined, but he took to Facebook late this afternoon.
And I got that Henry. I'd like to take a 2x4 and I'd like to beat the out of him. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to beat the out of him. I'd like to take a gun and shoot him through the head.
This was the secret recording which was leaked online yesterday. The Henry in question here is Henry Kristovchik, Mayor Fouts' former chief of staff, who passed away earlier this year.
I could easily get a gun and shoot Henry. I'd enjoy shooting him.
Forensic voice analysis compared this tape to a known authentic recording of the mayor.
Does your biometric test tell you that that's him?
It does.
Fouts declined our request for an interview about this yesterday, but today on Facebook posted this, quote, "Enough is enough regarding the latest anonymous tape. My dear late friend, Henry Kristovchik, passed away in May of this past year, and I wrote a heartfelt eulogy about a person I have held in high esteem for his many years of support. He also supported me 3 years ago regarding these nasty tapes." Back here live, realize that these various recordings have been leaking out since 2013. However, the mayor goes on to say this in his Facebook post, quote, "Now less than 2 weeks before the election, this tape comes out. Whoever did this has no shame for this effort to disrespect a deceased person in order to influence the Warren election." Devin, Kimberly, we're live in Warren tonight. Back to you.
And Mara, in that post, Mayor Fouts says a lot about fake recordings being possible, but does he say that's not his voice on the recording?
Actually, there is no flat out denial in his Facebook post, but he does make a very strong suggestion that somebody's out to get him. Back to you.
All right, Mara. Now to the city of Mount Clemens, which finds itself in a legal battle, being sued now over how decisions were made about marijuana center licenses. So far, a judge has issued a restraining order against Mount Clemens. Nick Monticelli reporting tonight, those fighting the city are accusing city leaders of doing business behind closed doors without public input.
Let us know what's going on. Be open to the public. Let the public see and have a say.
That is Paul Addis, the attorney for the man suing the city of Mount Clemens over what they believe is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. The city created a marijuana board that would review applications for marijuana businesses within city limits and then make decisions, they allege, without any public hearings and without any transparency. Addis says his client just wants to understand how decisions were made.
If it is indeed legit and they came to it in a legitimate way, then so be it. But the fact of the matter is nobody knows how they got and made their decision.
The lawsuit has been filed and a judge has granted a restraining order against the city of Mount Clemens. It's something that was not a part of the latest city commission meeting agenda, but did come up.
What did the mayor know and when did she know it?
The mayor, Barb Dempsey, was not at that meeting, but talked to us over the phone.
I don't think there was anything intentional that we're going to do this in secret. As far as I'm concerned, I think they did everything above board. If that's not the case, then I guess hindsight is everything.
But someone who was at the meeting is Brian Tingley, who sits on the marijuana board. As a city representative, don't you think it's important to have all of your business out in the open?
I have no comment tonight. Thank you.
Why wouldn't you want to comment about this, though?
All comments are going to the city attorney's office.
Other city leaders, like Laura Fournier, defend the creation of the marijuana board, its power, and the choice not to have public meetings.
If that's required, we would do it. We would have done it. Our legal counsel did not say we had to do it in an open meeting.
In hindsight, do you wish it would have been done in open?
I believe that it would have been chaos. quite honestly, seeing all the opinions that are out there on this marijuana business, it has been a very big issue with very heated opinions. Everyone has different opinions. It could have been just total chaos.
That's kind of what they signed up for. Marijuana and the permits and things like that, whether it's a circus or not, the Open Meetings Act is in place for that very reason, so that the public gets to have a say.
In Mount Clemens, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
And there was supposed to be a hearing today for this case, but it got postponed. Should happen sometime in the next week or two.
All right, let's check in with Ben after a beautiful fall day today.
Feels like fall, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
a little
does.
crisp and maybe getting more so, Ben.
Yeah, in fact, some of our coldest temperatures lie in front of us. At least we're getting a little bit of late sunshine underneath that cloud deck that's out there. Temperatures are close to 60, not quite there though, 59 at Metro. The winds are starting to calm down, but believe it or not, those are coming back later tonight. There's a system that's going to drag some sprinkles into parts of the area, and that's going to increase our winds late this evening heading into the overnight hours. So by 10, really 11 o'clock into midnight, that's when we're expecting those winds to spike again. But the sprinkles are going to be around mainly in our north zone. We'll look at the timing of those and some big changes to the Halloween forecast in just a few minutes. Guys?
Ben. Ford Motor Company's third quarter numbers showing losses for the automaker. Profit down almost 60%. That's because of $1.5 billion in restructuring charges. But we should also note sales in the U.S. and China both down. One big reason revenue fell for Ford, problems with the launch of the new Explorer. Overall, Ford's net earnings per share from July to September are actually up from Wall Street's estimates.
After months of partisan budget bickering in Lansing, it appears everyone is ready to get down to business. Today, the governor met with Republican legislative leaders. The idea is to restore a lot of cuts the governor made when she vetoed $1 billion from the $59 billion 2020 budget. Local 4's Rod Maloney spoke with the governor today, and Rod, they're trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, so to speak.
Well, they are, and sad to say, they will never get Humpty fully back together again in this instance anyway. But it does appear that things have calmed down a little bit, but not entirely, and that's the thing, because both sides are coming at the budget from vastly different places.
I'm ready to sign a supplemental that fixes the problems. Doing it piecemeal doesn't make a lot of sense, so I'm hopeful we've got something to my desk. We could get this all done by, tomorrow if we're ready to move quickly and be real and have real negotiation and solve the budget problems they sent me.
Of course, that ignores the governor's decision to walk away from talks when Republicans put about $375 million in road funding into the budget. She line item vetoed that and a lot of other things, leaving many in the state feeling adrift.
I think you can see that there are some obvious things we know we'll find some common ground on. There's some others, but this is the point where we got to have the conversation. I'm ready to move forward, and I hope the legislature is too.
So the new supplemental budgets floating around the House and Senate address many of those issues like autism, child care funds, senior citizen program grants, and opioid response grants. There's a move afoot to restore secondary road patrols, county veteran services, and Michigan tuition grants, and there are a handful of other bills looking to further help education. And there's much more proposed to help education, like public school foundation increases, small isolated school districts funding, and summer school reading and safety programs. Do you have any regrets about the way this has played out?
I think everything that I can control, we did as well as we possibly could. I cannot control the legislature when they want to get serious about negotiating, and I think we've got a lot of opportunity ahead of us.
Well, opportunity ahead of us is an optimistic way of looking at it. Now, they did speak late into the afternoon today. In the governor's office, they were talking, and there really wasn't much change, apparently. But they have agreed to keep talking, and so that's where the optimism lies, that they'll be able to get something here. Back to you.
Let's just cut the chase, Rod. This is really about the road funding bill that the governor wants. Are they ready to start talking about that at all?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because when I asked the governor that, she paused and looked at me as if, are you kidding? She didn't say that, but clearly they have many miles to cover before they get there. And even when they get there, it's going to be very difficult. The governor isn't going to get her 45 cents a gallon. So the question is, where will they wind up? And we have no way of knowing.
Yeah, but we'll continue to follow it. Thanks, Rod.
Detroit students, if you haven't heard the big news of the day, Getting some big help with college tuition thanks to a new program from Wayne State University. It's the Heart of Detroit Tuition Pledge, and it will give students living in Detroit free tuition to Wayne State. It's called a last dollar scholarship, which means that students first need to be accepted into Wayne. Afterward, they have to apply for financial aid and scholarships, and the pledge would then pay for any amount of that tuition that wasn't covered for those who've graduated from high school or have a GED from the city of Detroit. Really great.
That is. Police in Bloomfield Township are on the hunt for a man spotted lurking outside a home. Take a look here at the surveillance video. It shows a man holding a skateboard standing outside a home on Glen Forest Court. Last week, a woman called police and reported seeing this man on her security camera peering through windows and standing near her front door. If you know who this person is or have any information, call Bloomfield Township Police.
Michigan State Police creating a new unit to fight the opioid crisis. It's the Diversion Investigative Unit, which focuses on medical professionals suspected of illegally giving out opioids. A doctor from Mason and a nurse practitioner from Lansing are facing a number of charges after investigations by this new unit. State police say more investigations are underway even now.
Time now for a check of the national stories you'll see ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News.
We head to New York, where Lester Holt is there with a preview. Hi, Lester.
Hey, Kim and Devin, coming up, a critical fire danger. Millions of people under a warning tonight, plus the push for paid family leave. Moms who can't afford to stay home with their newborns, and the group of dadvocates, as they're known, who are fighting for change.
Yeah, dadvocates, I like that a lot. How does the U.S. rank, though, among the rest of the world for this kind of thing, paid leave for parents, Lester?
Well, it might shock you to learn there are just a handful of countries without a national paid leave policy. Places like Papua New Guinea, a few Pacific islands, and the U.S. That's compared to places like Canada that offer 6 months or more. We're going to explain why Congress has not acted so far on a paid leave policy when we see you coming up on Nightly News.
Okay, we look forward to that report. Lester, we'll see you in about 20 minutes. Thank you.
It's starting to get some interesting life, though. Well, just how much does your teen spend using their electronic devices? The answer might reveal something about their diets. Dr. Frank McGeorge will be here to explain.
But first, a special homecoming at Metro Airport. This man is the oldest living person to hold a title very few are granted. You'll meet this true patriot next.
How do you keep that cold air out of your home? Help Me Hank teaming up with experts to